really want to get to the hips, one of the beautiful ways is to go visit the land of the dragons. The dragon is basically a low lunge. A number of people might find this one not too available for a number of different reasons. There's one proportion problem that some people have, and that's simply the length of the shin is longer than the length of their arms. So when they try to come down, they can't get their hands flat to the floor. By using blocks on either one or both hands, you can allow yourself to really relax here. Now some weight's being carried into my arms, I can soften the hips and get deeper into this pose. For different lengths of arms, if you will. A lot of people in the dragon, though, feel blocked here at the top of the hip. If you feel the top of the pelvis, this is technically known as your ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine. And as you flex the pelvis, sometimes that starts to contact the top of the thigh. And you get a painful pinching in here anytime you come into a lunge, anytime you bring your knees to your chest, a Padmasana, or even in child's pose. So one option, as Diana is showing, is to try and create some space here by using a belt. You can fold it over a few times, tuck that in there, and as you come forward, it just prevents that painful compression from happening, which means you can stay here longer.
If you don't have a belt, you could also use a scarf, a blanket, anything you have to hand that you can wedge into the top of the thigh right at the hip to bring space.
As we progress through the dragon cycle, we might start here in the baby dragon. Then you might come into the low-flying dragon. You start to walk your hands out. And at some point, you're stopped. But notice how you're carrying weight in the arms, so the muscles are relaxed. Sorry, the muscles are engaged here. By using blocks, you might be able to rest your elbows onto the blocks. So now you can relax here. Eventually, over time, you'll get your elbows to the floor. But if you can't quite get there, use the blocks, or as Anna is showing, you can use a bolster. Another problem that can often arise in the dragon is uncomfortable pressure on the back knee. And this can happen in swan or many other lunges as well, especially for people that aren't so far forward with that back knee. A lot of pressure comes right onto the knee. We would encourage the students to walk the front foot forward and really try to lean into it, but even that may not be sufficient. So some options. One is to have a cushion underneath the shin itself. Now the cushion is underneath the shin and not the knee. And this means that the knee is not feeling any compression. There's no pressure directly on the knee. If that's not working, another option is simply have a blanket and have the knee resting on the blanket as well. Just a bit of support here. Because the dragons are such beautiful poses, you're going to want to play with them for a long time. So make sure the back knee is not complaining.
You've got sandbags where you're practicing. You could use a sandbag in your high-flying dragon to weigh down the top of the thigh of the front leg. Just make sure that the intensity you're feeling is appropriate and you're not going too deep into the pose or holding too long.